Welcome back to my artistic journey of faith, where Christ is the base foundation. Take two. Welcome back on this artistic journey of faith. What rhymes with faith? Where he molds and shapes me. What? For his glory, huh? My name is Victory, yeah. But it's not about me. Hey everybody, welcome back to Versus and Visionary. So this video is going to be a raw, transparent, uncut. Well, I might cut some things out if I stutter. But I just want to be vulnerable with you guys for a minute because in the description of this channel, it states that I'm going to show the highs and the lows of this artistic journey of faith. And I want to be fully transparent on the emotions that I experience in learning how to paint when it comes to creating certain art pieces. I don't struggle with every single one, but there are times that I do struggle, especially with this one behind me right here. Okay, as you can see, that there is a canvas on this easel, but the canvas is flipped over. And I typically do that when I'm not proud of the art that I am doing. I'll get frustrated during the process. And if I get frustrated and if I start doubting myself or rushing, that's typically when I start to mess up the art. So I'm showing you guys what I do when I'm not proud of the work that I've done. I flip it over because I don't want to look at it. And I believe that if you are an artist, aspiring artist, whatever, what you're doing, photography, drawing, creating, singing, dancing, anything, that shows you. And it's the same when you're painting, it shows what you're capable of. So if other people are looking at it, then they're going to see that, yes, I messed up, I made a mistake. And especially for myself, being somebody that wants to do something right the first time, especially when it's a hobby that I really want to do, like painting. If I mess up, I'm going to be hard on myself, and then I flip the art over and I'll take some time and then I'll come back to it. I am learning on this artistic journey that I'm not going to be perfect with whatever I put my hands to right away because one, that eliminates the journey, and two, it's being way too hard on yourself. It's in that learning process and that growing where you're able to pick up certain things that you're supposed to do while painting or anything that you're creating. And while you pick up those traits, you're going to be able to show them to other people and be like, okay, don't do this, do this. If you make a mistake, you'll know to help somebody not to do it again. Like in life, if you were to make a mistake in life and you saw the consequences of what you did, you could warn somebody and be like, don't do this. And I do not want to go through that. I want to be able to showcase my art. I want people to see that I'm good. I want people to see that, I don't struggle. And honestly, that's putting up a mask because we are creation. We are not the creator. We're not God. He does everything perfect first time he does it. Us, we live in a fallen world and we carry him in our spirit, but we are not him. So there are times where we're going to have to actually go through the process because through that learning process is where you're able to grow and where you're able to build up character, where you're able to build faith and say, okay, maybe I wasn't good the first time that I tried that, but as I continue to put my hand to the plow, that's when I got better. And like I said, that's not something that I want to go through, but us being people, us being finite with our thinking, us just not being God, right? We're going to have to go through that. We're going to have to go through the journey. With me being hard on myself comes that term perfectionist. The definition of a perfectionist: a person who refuses to accept any standard short of perfection. They strive for flawlessness and set excessively high performance standards, frequently coupling these traits with overly critical self-evaluations and rigid expectations for both themselves and others. With this term perfectionist, I'm going to bring that into me and my artistry. If I picture something in my head that I want to create and I start putting it on a canvas and it's not perfect the first time that I do it, I get frustrated with myself, and then I honestly start looking at myself as a failure with this specific thing. I know that's not true, but I don't give myself grace. I don't quit though. That's something that I have noticed about myself. I always come back to the painting and try to finish it because this is something that I want to do. I don't want to put my hands to something and I created a channel, created a TikTok, said I'm going to do this artistic journey of faith and just quit because I got frustrated with one thing. No, that's not what I'm going to do, because painting is something that I want to be good at, but it's understanding that I'm not going to be perfect right away. But it is a desire in my heart to eventually get there. Kind of like our faith journey. When you became saved, he redeemed your spirit, right? But you have to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. You have to continuously do away with things that do not please God. You have to work on yourself, right? And it's the same thing with whatever hobby that you may put your hands to. It's not going to be perfect right away, but as you take the Most High along with you on your journey, He's going to help you. His word says that His power is made perfect in weakness, especially when you are doing things for Him. He's going to assist you with doing those things. And especially if it's something that He wants you to do, you're not alone. And I have to understand that. And there's this thing that I heard from someone a while back. He said that if an artist is creating something and they mess up, they don't immediately throw the painting away. They could incorporate the mistake into the painting and use it for the end result, or they could literally paint over it, just like how God does with our lives. There may have been mistakes that we've made in the past that God uses for His glory, and He forgives those mistakes that we've done in our past. So it doesn't define you. So I'm learning to not let my mistakes or my little failures define who I am as an aspiring artist. I can look back on the paintings that I've done earlier this year and say, no, Victoria, you are capable, and literally speak life into myself. So this is a transparency post. I don't think I went into detail ever as to why I flip my paintings over. It's not because I don't want people to see the final masterpiece. No, it's because I'm embarrassed of my mistakes. So this painting, it's not done yet. It involves skin tones. And for me, skin tones have been very challenging. But the thing about art is it doesn't have to look like everybody else's. I'm trying to pull myself away from that mindset. It doesn't have to look like the person that I saw on TikTok. It doesn't have to look like a person that I saw in the museum. This is me. I am a unique being. I have something that separates me from everybody else, and that's called DNA. So with my mindset and how the Most High created me to think, my art isn't going to look like everybody else's. It may be similar, but it's never the exact same. Different brush strokes were used. Different painting methods can be used. I could be using acrylic. Another person could be using oil. I could be using oil. Another person could be using water paint. Everything is different. Everybody's mindset is different. So it's never fair to compare yourself to somebody else, especially when it comes to things that you are supposed to create. It's going to be different. And especially when you compare, that eliminates the freedom in what you are doing because you're trying to match somebody else's artwork. That's tasteful. So I'm learning to be me on this artistic journey. I'm learning not to be so hard on myself and finish what I started, because that is what God is doing with me. That is what He's doing with you. He does not abandon His artwork. He does not abandon His masterpieces. And I'm going to end this video with Ephesians 2:10. For we are His workmanship, created in who? In Christ Jesus, unto good works, You're created to do something. You're created to be purposeful. And He did not plan for you to fail on the journey that He has called you to. So thank you for joining me on this artistic journey of faith, and continue to tune in. All right. Bye.